beautiful stars out there, earth, air, fire, and water. I hope everyone has been staying prayed up, blessed up, and doing what you do best. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful late night out here in RainChildz Kornerz. And I just hope you all continue to do no other than what have I been. Okay. So we're gonna go. I already I'm just like on a little roll here. So we had already got 444. So that means you are protected. Your angels is giving you a sign that they are protecting you. Okay, and so yes, we're dealing with 444 protection, and letting you know that your angels are with you, and you don't have anything that you need to be fearing. If you're worried about something and you got a lot going on, within yourself, the best thing to do is to constantly keep praying. I'm feeling like someone here has went through some type of dark night of the soul. That's what I'm getting. The dark night of the soul. And by me just picking these up right here, I'm feeling like someone's gambling. Someone's been gambling with something. Because I'm looking at this right here too. Somebody's gambling with money. Possibly something dealing with a dream. Something dealing with someone's dream. And someone gambling with someone's money. Maybe perhaps I'm hearing something's lost and someone's worried about that. Wait a second. Yeah, someone's someone's definitely worried about some kind of fortune or something here. Let me see. All right, maybe get this inside going. Yeah, so, but what I'm gathering is for whomever this resonates with, since we have 444 here, and your angels, they're letting you know that your angels are around you, they're watching you, they're protecting you. You don't have anything to worry about. So what I'm gathering here, maybe perhaps something was, I'm hearing misguided, misleaded, something was done all wrong. It could possibly be something dealing with, let's find out. Let's see. Let me see what I'm going to use here. I don't think I want to use those. Misguided, misleaded. Let's see here. Let me put you on pause for 1 second. Okay, so I'm hearing something being misguided, misleaded, something dealing with someone was misleaded. Yeah. And perhaps by you being misleaded, I'm definitely getting you're worried about something. worried that somebody, okay, if this resonates, this is one part of the story right here. If you let someone borrow something, say you invested in something, you let someone borrow something, and you were supposed to get some type of big return back off of that, and then you realize the person who you let borrow, whatever this is that you let borrow, or you invested with someone and you got misleaded, you're realizing now you're not going to get a return, and now you're realizing that you fumbled numerous things, not just one thing. You fumbled probably numerous things, and it just seemed like it's getting worse and worse and worse every day. And you're worried that, now that what you've done as far as, letting someone borrow something of yours, you're going to have to, put up some type of boundaries here. And you should have been put up these boundaries, but you didn't know. So, and perhaps, someone's wanting to borrow something. Someone could be wanting to borrow something from you. This can be the other part of the story. Okay, for some of you all, you've let someone borrow something, and for some of you all, someone's wanting to borrow something and wanting to do something to collaborate. This person is in need of money. They were in need of money. Somebody was in need of money, and you let them borrow the money. And you're worried that you're not going to get your money back, or whatever the case may be, but you know now that you're not going to get your money back because you done found out something about a side hustle here. Some kind of side hustle. So what you need to be doing, if you have not let someone borrow something, what you need to be doing is telling them no, saying no firmly, protecting your peace, setting limits clearly. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Yeah, because this person here is like always on the grind, always on to the next big thing as far as some type of financial gain or whatever the case may be. This would be that friend or somebody that you're in cahoots with, and this would be that person that's always got these new bright ideas. You ain't never met a person like that before, where they well, guess what I found out, if you put your money into this and put your money into that, then I promise you, we can come up, we can come up, and then everything sounds so good, and then you done probably done it maybe 1 or 2 times, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you've done it multiple times, hopefully not, but, I'm hearing, okay, so, you got some type of investment that you did get back. It might not have been as much back as you were promised, but you did get something back. And then now this person's wanting more money, to invest in whatever it is that they got going on, or whatever it is that they're trying to hype you up with. And I'm thinking what you're seeing is, you see that that's what they do, is some type of a side hustle. They'll give you a win back the first time. You get it back that first time. But that second time when you go back into it and invest, technically giving them the money back that you won, from the first investment, or, giving them that money back, or that and some, making it a lot more larger sum of money. And they're sitting there, come on, man, you don't want this, we got this the last time, and it's just gonna be more, and I promise you, or it could just be some little whiny individual that's just trying to get you to do something for them again. You know what I'm saying? And they promise they're gonna pay you back, but yet something happens. Something always happens, and they never have your money right back then and there. They already knew from the get-go they ain't had that money. They already knew they weren't going to have it, but they didn't care. They just figured they can use their little manipulative tactics or whatever to get what it was they wanted from you, because they could care less about if you got your money back or not. They can care less if you had bills you had to pay, whatever the case may be. But this is their side hustle. On the side of whatever else they got going on. However your story is, it could be a male or a female, one of those crazy investor type of people that always want to invest in the next big thing that's going to bring through this major, win, some type of pyramid scheme or whatever the case may be. It's going to be one of those type of deals, or it's just going to be one of those, friends of either a best friend that ain't, when you go out somewhere with them, they ain't never got their portion of the money or whatever. They're going to always pay you back. They never have the money to pay you back, never. Or it could possibly be a male and a female situation. You know what I'm saying? Where the man, is always with you or whatever, like the Call Tyrone, situation. They never got the cash. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be a female to be doing this to a male. Ain't never got nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's always somebody else's fault. The reason why they ain't got nothing. And then they put on this facade and want to cry about it, whatever. It's just one of those things, and now you're realizing that you just need to put up boundaries, child, as soon as possible. Regardless if it hurts your heart or whoever heart it was going to hurt, just put up some boundaries. Because this person is because if not, you're going to get hustled. Literally get hustled with this side hustle here. It could, and like I said, it's a gamble. It's some type of gamble. It's a gamble you're going to take. And it could possibly be a gamble that they are taking with the money that you're giving them. Somebody could even have a bad gambling problem. You just never know. If you don't know, then obviously there's some things that they're hiding from you. They could even have a bad drug habit or anything. Some people, they think they can use what it is that don't belong to them or somebody else's because they don't want to use their own. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people already be having money, be having their little secret stash, what they call like nest eggs or whatever the case may be. And when they have these nest eggs, they're not thinking about you, child. That's what they be like. They don't want to use their money. They want you using yours up. Shoot. Why should they have to use theirs when they can get somebody else's? Yeah. This was what fell on the floor. It says CEO energy, taking control, natural leadership, confidence in business. I'm the boss. Yeah, you got to just be the boss on the situation, child. No one becomes the boss until you learn how to take control, take charge. You know what I'm saying? Put up your boundaries. Bosses don't, a real boss, a CEO, a boss, they don't get into this energy right here by dealing with these little crazy side hustles. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to get hustled. Maybe, once in blue moon, maybe in the past or something, they got hustled, but then they learn from that. You learn from these things. You don't have to keep going back, dealing with this mess over and over and over again. If it's somebody who's always needing money to help invest, tell them to do it. Be like, you do it on your own then. I just don't want to get into that. You do it on your own. And then let them do it and then see what they get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Yeah, because this person right here is just, basically got you all screwed up because maybe perhaps it was supposed to be some type of relationship that's supposed to be 50-50. Friend or no friend, you know what I'm saying? But it says friend zone, it says platonic trap, unreciprocated feelings, stuck as friends, like a sibling to me. This person basically is telling everybody, oh, this is not what you think it is. This is just a person who's like a brother to me, or this person is like this to me, or whatever, just like a cousin. This is just a work friend, you know what I'm saying? But, and they don't want nobody to know who you really are, but yet they want to use up all your money. You know what I'm saying? They want to act like it behind closed doors, but in the public eye, they want to act like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're giving them something, that's all they care about. If you ain't got nothing to give them, they're not going to want to even be around you, period. Could be like, if it's supposed to be your best friend, they're probably telling somebody, oh, that's just, that's just my homeboy, or whatever the case may be. And, and probably be talking all kind of mess, about you behind people's backs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also hearing, when I looked at this card, it says situational single. It says temporary loneliness, choosing solitude, waiting for better, not settling. So some of you are already knowing you're not going to be settling. You're not dealing with, people that are not reciprocating y'all's relationship. You know what I'm saying? You keep giving and giving and giving and giving, and then they're not giving anything back. You know what I'm saying? So you're deciding here, and for some of you all, this is, some advice to do. You need to decide to do this. Just go on your own. Do the temporary loneliness thing, which, like, for some people, it ain't always about being lonely, honey, because you know me, honey, I personally enjoy my solitude. It's healing. You know what I'm saying? And you can always do great by waiting on better and not settling. Because when you have to settle, just to be settling, that's not good. That's not living. That's not fair to you. It's not fair to the other person. It's not fair for anybody to be just settling, because really, when you just settle, you're only doing it for selfish reasons. You know what I'm saying? Maybe perhaps if a person looks a certain way, you're only settling with them, even though they don't have half of what you got, you bring to the table. Maybe this person can be lazy. They don't clean up after themselves. They don't cook. They don't clean. You know what I'm saying? They don't do nothing, but you gonna still give them a ring. Eventually, people get tired of that mess. They get tired of that, unless y'all have like a really, really good, deep understanding. You know what I'm saying? Some people can deal with stuff like that. But being clean, now you're going to want to be clean. You're going to want somebody to be clean. Just like if you get with a man, you know what I'm saying? If they just dirty, they come in and take their funky socks off, their clothes, and just throw them any and everywhere. Sooner or later, you're going to get tired of picking up their stuff. If they go in the kitchen, make a horrible mess, and don't clean up after themselves, you're going to get tired of doing that. Like I say, unless you're just one of those type of people that just do everything, spoil a man, I've been known to do that, spoil. But usually when I do that for a man, they're very, 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 deserving of that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? They work hard probably, and, work hard all the way around, child. Yes, and then when they come home, yes, their food gonna be on the table. You damn right. Yes, their clothes is gonna be already washed, folded and put up, ironed, hung up. Yes, the bed's gonna be made, all that, and a bag of chips, child. And I'm gonna be in it waiting on them. But it has to be a real man. You know what I'm saying? A real man who's deserving of that. You know what I'm saying? Someone who gives the same amount that I do. I'm not gonna be just doing it for somebody who ain't doing nothing, showing that same type of love. You know what I'm saying? Because I done been there and done that, and I ain't doing it no more. Period. Be damned if I ever give that much of myself to somebody who doesn't give it back. Yeah. And so, and this is what the angels are saying, remaining single. You know what I'm saying? Not settling. Yeah, look, this almost flipped out my hand, y'all. Who wants to be breadcrumb? Nobody wants these breadcrumbs. It's not no fun. It says giving minimum attention, keeping options open. Vague promises, never committing fully. Just like having you on a string, just dangling. You know what I'm saying? Just little bitty bits and pieces here. Who wants mess like that? Little bits and pieces. Yeah, because this is the thing. You have to speak up, and you have to express your needs. Defend it. You have to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know, and have the courage to confront. It says your voice matters. You know what I'm saying? Your voice matters. You know, set these boundaries. No one's going to be going through this. You know, stay in your boss energy. Get into your boss energy. Boundaries, boss energy, all that. Because nobody who cares about this friend zoning mess. You know what I'm saying? When, you know, you came into the situation and it was supposed to be, you know, it was supposed to grow, it was supposed to do something else. But then you seen that somebody just only wanted to use you for something. You know what I'm saying? And you have to speak up for yourself on that. You know what I'm saying? When someone starts, either you speak up or just walk away. One of the two. And you know, when you walk away, that walking away quietly, that speaks volumes. That basically speaks up for you, because I mean, when you walk away and you don't plan on going back and looking back, then I guess that was the way it was supposed to be. You know, nobody deserves to be treated, especially the way certain narcissists, you know, treat people. You know what I'm saying? They do the most weirdest, awkwardest, dumbest shit I ever seen, you know, in my life. It could be someone who's known you for a very long time.
Or it could just be someone who's just a little old troublemaker.
And then, you know, someone can
and
come
you just
straight
sit
in
there and just watch, you know, entertaining.
And literally, you know, they'll lift the fucking boundaries. You know what I'm saying? They'll lift the boundaries for a whole stranger. And then they won't even do that for you. You know? It's weird. But then they be wanting your goddamn money. And then when you go to, you know, try to reach out to somebody, then, you know, you get to feeling ignored. You know what I'm saying? They have you waiting, you know, anxiously, no replies. You know, maybe they're busy, you know, you thinking stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. Be looking like this. Or they be looking like that when they're trying to get in touch with you once you put your boundaries up, or vice versa, however you want to look at this story. So what I'm getting from this right here is basically what you need to be doing is just constantly working on yourself.
What?
No one wants these breadcrumbs. You can keep, you know, people who want to, you know, use you for your money, you know, come into your situation. And, you know, it don't even necessarily have to be money. Use you for your energy. You know what I'm saying? Use you as a stepping stone. You know, like, you know, just jump all over top of your ass, and
they want to pretend,
you know, think they're just gonna keep on rising onto the damn top.
They want to drink all your water.
You know, by taking from you whatever they plan on taking. Could be money, time, energy, whatever.
Or intellectuals.
Start working on yourself. Get yourself in this CEO energy boss mode. Get serious about who it is and who you are, and what you want to do with yourself, and what you want to have in your life. You know, don't ever be afraid to speak up for yourself, regardless of however you need to speak up. And there's never nothing wrong with being, you know, situational single. Nothing wrong with that. Don't ever look at it like being lonely, because technically what you're doing, you're healing from a bunch of, you know, nasty energy vampire manipulators. That's what you're healing from. And that is serious. let them go breadcrumb someone else. You know what I'm saying? It seems like every time, they need you, or when they need something, you were there. Always there. They never even had to ask. I'm pretty sure. You was just there. But then, when you really, really, really needed them, when you were suffering the most, going through the most you was going through, where in the hell were they at? That's what I'm saying. But then when they need something from you, they're right there. Have your ass all in the middle of some bull shit. You not even knowing about it. This type of person here will be the type of person that'll go out and borrow money from someone else and then just throw you in it. Like, what was it? Like, what was that, Friday? Yeah, Friday. That old school movie, Friday. What was it? Big Worm was all pissed off and shit because he wanted his work, And old dude, what was it, Ice Cube's best friend? What was his name? His name wasn't Chris Pookie. He had them put his homeboy all up in the mix. And you know what I'm saying? Somebody that you wouldn't even expect will have you all up in the mix, all up in some dirt. And you not even know you in something. You not even aware. And then all of a sudden it comes into your awareness. And then you go like, what? You know what I'm saying? That's why it's always best to just always remember when you get that first intuition. When you ask somebody, the first time when you asked them, were they sent there to destroy you? And they told you no. They might have meant that, but it might have been another one of their friends that throw their ass in the mix.
Just a hater that does stuff like that, just out of
stuff
spite,
like that.
Trying to get their way, trying to
what I'm
control
hearing,
the narrative
I got this card right
behind
here.
the scenes.
Stay in your boss energy, level yourself on up. I'm hearing influencer status, social recognition, online fame, power to influence, swipe up. Just get on your grind. I know it's hard, but it's always beneficial if you just go on ahead and get started. Regardless of how you start. Yeah. And this is what's on the bottom of the deck, because you're going to have this glow up. You're going to have this glow up. Whoever this resonates with, you're going to have this glow up regardless of who wants you to have it or not. Regardless if this person that's staring at you through your mirror, child. Use mirror magic. If this mug right here don't want you to glow up, tough titty said a kitty chat. Because that's what's going to happen. Because that's where you're supposed to be. You was always meant to be this individual. It's always been something, I'm hearing something that got in your way. Yeah, because you're going to get your big break. It's coming. As soon as you start working towards it, it's coming, because you have right here, what I say, self-improvement, finding your confidence, personal transformation better than ever. It ain't your fault that some people want to stay stuck doing the same old thing. It's not your fault. If they want to keep doing the side hustle thing, keep constantly breadcrumbing Tom, Dick, and Harry, or Michelle, Misha, or Renee, whoever, or whatever spectrum you're on. You want to have all these people, and you run back and forth, and you want to borrow this and that and the other, whoever this may resonate with. Whoever your friend is, your female friend is, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. Whatever they doing. Sooner or later, this breadcrumbing, this side hustle, breadcrumbing, friend zone, and keeping people in the friend zone, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, people get sick and tired of it. They put up boundaries, They They work on themselves. They get themselves in their energy, the CEO energy, and they, start taking responsibility for their lives. Because technically it don't necessarily have to be a business that you're actually running here. This could just be your life, because your life is serious. You know what I'm saying? You have to be the CEO of your life. You have to get serious about what it is that you want in life, period. And that comes with the glow up. It comes with being recognized, glowing up, speaking up for yourself, having this big break here. You know what I'm saying? It says career turning point, major opportunities, life-changing moments. This is it. This is it. Your life-changing moments is on its way. It's coming because you decided to put up boundaries against anybody, anything. As I always say, what is it? Energy vampires. Energy vampires will take you and suck the living shit out of you. Literally. They take everything you got.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Whatever you got to give, they take it. They don't care. If you throwing something way outside, child, they right there to get it.
Damn.
Right there. And ain't never happy. Never happy. And if you can't, and it'd be just the same old cycle over and over again. Same thing over and over. Deja vu. Repeating patterns, familiar lessons, unresolved issues. We've been here before. Over and over. Over and over. Another pyramid scheme. Another new opportunity to get some type of money. Another sob story. Just whatever you can think of. Something, something else got lost. Something got stolen. Something got taken. Somebody did this to me. Let's jump into this new money venture.
The rule was, if you don't use it, we
let's
don't
open
take
this restaurant together.
Well, the rule is,
I found this really nice building that's, such and such amount. And then when you get there, it's 3 times more than what it is. It's always something. Deja vu. And when you put it into it, you put it into it. And that's that. It's always another day, another dollar. Shit, I'd rather be working a regular damn job and knowing what I got coming in than, jumping out there for the same old mess over and over and over and over again. And then you never get nothing. It's like you'll get something, a little small win, and then here they come again. And then you're going to lose out this time because you done this before. And then, they'll wait about a year or so, and then they'll come back wanting something else, or it just be something over and over again, or the weirdest, strangest people just start inserting themselves in your life. You know what I'm saying? It be stuff like that. It says, but be sure to have the self-care on Sunday, child. It says prioritize rest, recharge, emotionally pampering, pampering yourself, having your me time. Yeah, just do you. Do you. Male or female, do you. Shoot, my daddy love to go get his own feet done, child. And he do. He said that's the best feeling. He love getting his feet done and getting his little manicures and stuff. Yeah. Because, we're all going to have to deal with this crossroads. You know what I'm saying? When you have the important choices, life-changing decisions. Choose wisely. Your next step matters. So whatever it is that you got coming up, get this deep rest here. You know what I'm saying? Take your spiritual baths. That's what I'm hearing. Take your spiritual baths. Get your deep rest. Pamper yourself. Give yourself a self-love day. Contemplate on your decisions that you have to make with yourself in your life and what it is that you have to face or whatever it is that you have coming forward. Because whatever this is going to be something that's going to impact your life regardless of how it's going to turn out for you. But you do know your next step that you're going to do is this is what's going to matter. Your next step matters. Yeah. So listen. For some of y'all, I know you're a hopeless romantic. I know you are. You believe in the fairy tale. You know, you idolize and love, constantly waiting, forever dreaming. You know, you always on this. But it's like this. If you haven't totally healed everything within yourself, I mean, you can meet somebody, you know what I'm saying, and get with that person, but you want to be healed. Because if you're not healed, old habits, old things can creep up. You know what I'm saying? And it could hurt and destroy everything. So it's just best to go on ahead and heal. And then manifest, you know, love. Because we have, you know, this temporary relationship mess, you know, seasonal companionship, short-term, you know, warmth until spring cuffing season's coming. Yeah, it's on the rise. But I'm thinking these people, you beautiful people that's listening to this, I know that you have self-worth, and you're not in it for this temporary season. No one's in for the temporary season. You can let other people have that, and because the temporary stuff don't do nothing but cause soul ties, energetic cords, and all that mess that you're gonna have to just wipe away, and this and that and the other, and then it could be, you know, it could be painful, you know. So why put yourself through a temporary situation when, you know, it's going to take a long time to get out of, as far as energy. Yeah, because look, you already know with these situations right here, especially with you being a hopeless romantic during cuffing season, it says sudden disappearance without explanation.
You know who you are, and you know what you deserve, child.
But ignored. The bright signs. Yeah, they're just going to just run off. And beware, you know, of this happening. Someone just running off, you know, getting what they want from you and then taking off. Whether it be them getting money from you and taking off, you know what I'm saying? And then with this hopeless romantic cuffing season here, this could be, you know, whatever type of relationship, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else, you know, just getting something from you and then ghosting. Ghosting for money, whatever type of energy it may be. And like I always say, these messages aren't aimed at anyone specific. I'm just reading energy here, okay? What else? Yeah, because, you know, this what it does. It causes like soul contracts, you know what I'm saying? And then also it says fated connections, karmic relationships, spiritual agreements, destined to meet. You know, sometimes it'll be destined to meet. Just because you're destined to meet someone or destined to meet back up with someone, whatever the case may be, you don't have to get wrapped up in it. You know, you keep it short, keep it sweet, simple, let it go. All right, and it says breaking cycles. Breaking cycles. It says ending harmful patterns, freedom from repetition, new beginnings. It stops with me. So just, yeah, bing, just break it. Boundaries and breaking the cycle. And it stops with you. Don't have to be going through this all over again all the time. And, you know, they don't necessarily have to be with the same person. You could be doing the same thing over and over and over again with a whole new person. But it still be, you know, like a deja vu, but just with someone else. And what's on the bottom of the deck is that you need to go on ahead and do your shadow work. Get all that mess out. Get it over with. It says facing, you know, hidden fears. You know, exploring darker emotions, accepting imperfections, meet your darker self. And that's what you're going to have to do. Don't think that you're a bad person, you know what I'm saying? When you have to set, do these boundaries, boss up and do whatever it is. But, before all this will occur, you will have to do shadow work. And even if you do get into this energy right here, sometimes we get into this energy and we think we're good. And then something clinks up, and then guess what? You done went damn near 10, 20 years all the way backwards by just doing one thing that you knew you wasn't supposed to be doing. And it's nobody's fault but your own. You have to take responsibility for your actions because you knew better.
Do I need to say it again?
If you fall back into things that you're not supposed to be doing, and you're not putting up boundaries, then you have to take responsibility for it. Even if you give somebody something, as far as letting them hold some money or whatever the case may be, and being misled by, whatever. Yeah. Therefore, when you're looking at other people, sometimes you can put yourself in a situation, you can mirror that individual, basically facing yourself and others. You know what I'm saying? Being reflective, self-awareness, what you see as yourself. You know how you feel about certain things. You know what I'm saying? You have to take into consideration how the next person feels if this is someone you're dealing with or someone you have dealt with. Everyone can't do that though. And once you put these boundaries up, this is what you'll be avoiding. You'll be avoiding broken promises. Broken promises, and then have patience with yourself and others and trust the process. If your people deeply love you, your friend, your guy, your female, male, whoever, and they want to borrow whatever, some type of energy, money, loving, whatever, you gotta ask yourself, what is it going to cost me? By me doing this, what is this going to cost me? If I give you, this amount of money, what is that going to cost me if I don't get it back? If I, get in this bed with you and we have, relations, you have to think about that, because that's a serious thing. What is that going to cost you? If things don't work out, and someone walks away, what is that going to cost you? It's going to cost a lot because someone's going to be hurt. It's never good to even tell somebody you might do something for them, stringing them along, have them waiting, whatever. Just be honest and blunt and just say, no. If you can't do it, you just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Basically, don't have a person waiting on something that you're not going to be able to give them. What type of person you're dealing with. Because you've been around these people before. You've been around them your whole life probably. If you tell them, well, let me see if I'm going to be able to do it. And then you just don't want to tell them no, but yet you don't want to give it to them. So you just let them just linger. You know what I'm saying? Hoping maybe that they'll go away and forget about it. No, just tell them. Be honest. Tell the truth. If you can be honest and tell the truth to somebody, you'll be a lot more respected than anything. And don't lead a person on. You know what I'm saying? And just be honest, period. If it's someone else coming to a situation, or if you invested your money with someone else and found a better situation to invest your money into, tell them. Don't lie. Because when things don't work out with whatever or whoever you invested in, whether it be you gave money to somebody else or you laid with somebody else, whatever the case may be, it's all, I'm hearing it's already known. A lot of things is already known. I'm also hearing something about someone's breath. It's already known. A lot of times people will just see what you're going to say. You know what I'm saying? They might have already known you already invested, so maybe that's why they came to ask, because they wanted to see if you would invest in them too, because you already said that you would never do that, but yet you did do it. So they just was wanting to ask again, and then you just didn't want to tell them no. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. But let's see who the sun is that's trying to borrow, or the sign that you just, let's see who the sign is that you possibly, or let's see who the sign is that wanted to borrow. I wanted you to invest in them. Scorpio, Virgo. It's either Scorpio or Virgo. Scorpio or Virgo. Oh, and Cancer. Oh, and I'm also hearing I'm hearing congratulations on your birth for the Cancer. Congratulations to whomever is a Cancer and they've had a child. Congratulations. And I hope this message helps someone. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe. Deuces.